And so just a straight up discussion or a dialogue, not wanting to involve the Bible that much because we have been involving the Bible a lot and the concepts that are within it. Because from Genesis to Malachi, there is a scheme of thought, there is a theme and a context that we don't know when entered into the Bible from Matthew to the Revelation. Matthew to the Revelation kind of overlaps and overrides and rewrites the narrative from Genesis to Malachi. But when you allow the narrative from Genesis to Malachi to speak, and I've been harping on this saying, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand. The context isn't of a future tense. The author isn't seeing a resurrected deity or a resurrected demigod or a resurrected figure before them. The author is seeing one Lord and then another Lord. And then as we've gone through the scriptures and as we've seen that this same author, who we are taking to be David, as it says in the Bible, for this psalm, acknowledged this Lord talking to his Lord. All uppercase Lord is the Lord of David. But then there is another Lord, capital L, lowercase ord. Well, we're seeing that this other Lord, David calls God also. So David is seeing two gods here. There are two gods in this scheme of mythology, in the Psalms here, and in the scriptures. Now this is relevant. This is relevant because the author is representing a certain period of time and a people at a certain period of time. And at a certain period of time, the dominion, the sphere, the domain, the rule, the leadership of this other Lord is to become everything, just as David's was everything. So when that individual in Isaiah 53 is brought up and it says, my righteous servant shall justify many by his knowledge, the knowledge that this individual was preaching was the knowledge that that psalmist was saying when he said, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand. That knowledge is a scheme of devotion transferred upwards to an already pre-existing, if that even makes sense, an already pre-existing figure standing at the side of David's Lord, all uppercase Lord. Side note, this is why I love the King James Version. I love the King James Version because it makes distinction between figures. It keeps things pure as best as it can, as much errors are in it. And there are more errors in this Bible and then the ones following. But specifically in the King James Version, there are more errors than there are complete sentences. And that's because the authors didn't understand the context. And so that's an opportunity for us as students, right, to understand that context. And that's why we have lexicons. That's why we have concordances. And so when you take what is there, and this version of the Bible breaks down and separates these two entities, we can understand that at a certain point in time, a specific philosophy was to be preached about a Lord and then my Lord. An already existing Lord and an already existing my Lord. Again, this is not a resurrected figure that David is speaking of. Just because Peter, in the book of Acts chapter 2, makes that association does not make it right. And this, maybe we will get into that. Maybe we will. But it is not a correct association, and that can be proved. There is a stream of thought from Genesis to Malachi that is broken up by Matthew to the Revelation. And that doesn't mean that they can be used to assist one another. But what that means is that the stream of thought is very, very different. And in order to get them aligned, it takes language and context. And the language and context of this psalm, the Lord said unto my Lord, is important because this is a verse representing what would be called in a sentence or in a phrase, the kingdom of God. The God here is that Lord, that other Lord.